Hello and welcome to the Formula Forza Pre-Race podcast. I'm your host, Derek James, gamertag that Derek James. I'm joined, as always, by two-time Formula Forza Drivers Champion, Ryan McDowell. This dude. And this week, Adam Boros is back. Dude. This week, Adam Boros is back, gamertag ForFanatic9. It is time, guys, for the final Formula Forza Pre-Race podcast of the 2014 fall FF1 season.
Jeez, so buttoned down, apparently.
Yeah, button down. We're loosening up here. It's gonna be a loosey-goosey podcast. Ryan, how about
loosey-goosey?
How about we get into the results from the German GP?
Okay, well, I figure we'll start off with qualifying first. Qualifying was actually pretty insane. Like, I couldn't hear anybody else. During that, we had like some microphone issues.
Oh, be glad you didn't hear anybody else.
Yeah,
I was just bagging on Ryan the entire time.
Yep. Anyway,
the first race we actually had all 16 people show up. By the way, second to last round.
You mean with no substitutes?
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yep.
Because we've had 16 drivers before.
Yep. First time we had everybody get in.
Yeah.
The original 16.
Yeah, the original 16 that's actually signed up.
Except for not, because Edited Biscuit's not in there.
Well, yeah, but he...
But
all 16 active drivers.
There were no sub-drivers in this race.
And nobody
was
missing.
from the beginning, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's been subbing every single race, pretty much, until we picked him up.
That's true.
All right, let's get into the qualifying
All right,
results.
so qualifying... yeah, it was pretty crazy in Q1. We had Das Baggies, this guy right here, end up with the fastest time in Q1.
Even though everybody was off pace, basically.
Oh my god, I was like,
it was still surprising.
That time, how did I get like?
It was still. Well, I was at 33-1. How was I in like fourth with a 33-1?
Everybody was having issues getting a clean lap in.
Well, up until the last lap, I was in first the entire time. I was like, is it lagging or something?
There was a lot of evolution
on?
in the last minute.
Yeah, I was like, is it lagging or something?
Track, so. That fastest lap was in the last lap, too. That was with
dude,
like 10 seconds left.
I got bumped to fourth in the last lap. I was in first, and I dirtied my last lap, so I was like, all right, I'm just going to wait. I'll probably end up in first still. And I got bumped down to fourth at the end of the first, or fifth, wherever I ended up on that last lap.
You got fourth.
Yeah.
So, DZ Legends Blade, highest qualifying position from him as well, third. At one point, he was running second. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty impressive stuff. Fresh Cuban Bread, it looked like he was going to get it. He had a 1:32.869 up there. I think he got that within the last, 50 seconds or so. It was on his last lap.
I beat him out for it.
It was on his last lap because I remember pausing and seeing Fresh Cuban Bread, DZ Legends Blade, that Derek James, and you were in fourth. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, with maybe 15 seconds to go or so, he pops in his last time and boom, goes right to the top, 1:32.864, 5 thousandths of a second faster than Fresh Cuban Bread.
Not fresh enough.
So that's pretty good. First, second, and fourth.
I knew you'd be a self-absorbed asshole this entire podcast after Ryan announced the qualifying results.
And then 10th for Adam over here, but he got into Q2.
I got into Q2 for two times in a row.
Every jet driver made it into
week
Q2
until 7 minutes before the race. So
other notables.
Who didn't make it into Q2?
I didn't. First time didn't make it into Q2.
This guy sucks.
Bryce MW, first time he didn't make it in.
Nope.
In Flames, 9th. So holy crap.
Shows you what a power track does. Shows you what a real power track does when everybody has restriction.
Okay, now there is one other thing we got to mention in Q1. We seem to be spending a bunch of time on Q1, but it was actually one of the more active Q1 sessions we've ever had. Mm-hmm. One of the other interesting things, like you said, TLR Eclipse, 14th. That's pretty crazy for him. Even with power restriction, he's usually been higher than that. Laker Hater. We got to be talking about Laker Hater because he has, if you go to the leaderboards and you sort it by everybody that's in Formula Forza, he had the third fastest time, out of everybody. And so that's right behind In Flames and Bryce MW. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh man, he's going to get pole. He's going to get pole easy. And
he didn't.
You know what he did though? So he's 16th.
He's the fastest lap.
16th because he couldn't get a clean lap. He did actually have the fastest lap. It would have been pole had it been clean. A 1:32.627. He would have been 2/10 faster than everybody else in Q1. All right. So anyway, that was Q1. So knocked out in Q1 is Bryce MW with his 15% power restriction. Me with a 5% power restriction. Uncool Firestorm in 13th. TLR Eclipse with a 5% power restriction, and then Cubit in 15th, and Laker Hater because he couldn't get in a clean lap there. So Q2 then. Now Q2 I couldn't participate, but I was basically watching it every time everybody was going around.
Is a horrible picture.
Yeah, it is pretty fuzzy. Anyway, Fresh Cuban Bread, a 132.477. So he improved 4/10 roughly in the span of just those 10 minutes. TLR Law.
That was like 15 minutes, wasn't it? It had to
Upped
be
his
like
game.
15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, because we lost you between sessions.
Yeah,
But anyway, in Q2, he ended up getting faster by 4/10 there. TLR Law. Now, here's incredibly close here. We had TLR Law up his game as well, a 132.480, right? Fresh Cuban Bread took pole 132.477. 3 thousandths of a second faster. So that's pretty incredible. Das Baggies also improved to 132.546. So another 3/10 for you. I have no idea what that sound is. Anyway, BTR Snaky was 4th with a 132.835. That would have been faster than the 2 times in Q1. So the top 4 in Q2 all faster than the fastest time in Q1. That Derek James,
Not faster than the fastest.
I
time in
believe
Q1.
this is actually your highest qualifying of the season. 5th.
Yeah, 6th was my other highest in Catalonia.
Yeah.
So second week in a row I qualified 5th.
So pretty good there. BTR
Really?
Sparky was 6th with a 133.290. I know he can go faster. I know he was sort of mid 132s.
Seems like a lot of dudes were off.
Yeah.
I know.
It was tough to get it because the pressure was on and we had been off for so long. You know. Anyway, Slamont 24 then qualified 7th. His teammate right behind him in 8th. So that's DZ Legends Blade in 8th. In Flames 9th again in Q2. And Ferrari Fanatic 9 improves no he doesn't to 10th.
I had the pit wall before I got on my flyer. So.
I saw somebody go into the. I didn't know who it was.
Yeah,
but I
that
saw
was me.
somebody,
Yeah,
yes.
it just jumped right out.
He pulled at me.
So yeah, we had that going.
Please walk behind the camera. walk behind the fireplace.
Get over here.
Walk behind the fireplace.
So we have a special guest here for the our final Formula. This is kind of creepy. Right. Right. All right. So anyway, as insane was that was, so was the race. Was equally as insane. So you want to take us through yours since you qualified so much higher than I did? How did the start go for you?
Brad, me, and Cuban were 1, 2, 3 after the first corner. Actually, no, it was turn
Not
4.
true.
Round turn
Because
4.
Jack was in first after the first
Yeah,
corner.
Jack. It was Jack.
I was in second.
Jack,
So
then
2,
Brad,
3,
then me.
4.
Yeah. After turn 4, once the field kind of thinned out a little bit, it was Jack, Brad, me. And then
No, I was from first.
And then going into the chicane, going into the chicane on the first lap, I caught the curb on the inside and it kicked the car out and around. Luckily, I had spun out far enough away that everybody was able to get through except for one person.
Oh, that's who
hit
spun.
You hit the back of Bryce, didn't you, on that in the chicane? Somebody hit the back of somebody in the chicane as I was sitting there waiting for the entire field to go by.
That happened right in front of me. I have no clue what it was.
Somebody
Could have been Eclipse because he was well down the order as well.
Yeah, because he was in front of me, so it had to have been him.
Was it a white car?
Because I spun that lap, and then I got
That's
back
half
around
the
there. I was
field.
like, oh, hey, I got my spots back.
But
No, my start was.
oh yeah, I thought we were going to talk about my race recap, Ryan.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's not much after that. Basically, from 13th, I fought my way back on track, mind you. No, past I think 2 people while they were in the pits. From 13th to 5th, passed Flames for 4th, and then pitted 2 laps later. Came out of the pit 1 lap after I came out of the pit, hit the pit wall. Ended my race right there. I basically hit the wall and was turned right back around, right next to the entrance. So I just went
Into the pit.
around and into the entrance,
Rather than trying to
But
make
of course, the pit's like 3 hours here, and I was sitting in my pit box.
I think
like
got 24.
6th, 7th, 8th.
It's like a 40-second pit.
It was
It's
like
long.
6th,
It is.
7th, 8th,
And the
9th.
funniest part is the pit boxes aren't even the actual pit boxes. It just like pulls over in the
You
middle
pull
of
into
the
the
lane.
middle lane, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause there's 3 lanes there.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
you
sitting
pull into
there.
the middle lane, and then you still see like the area that.
Because by the time I got to
You
my
have like 40 feet yet to the
Yeah,
pit
until
garages.
yeah, exactly. It's
because by the
weird.
time I got to my pit box, I was already in 7th, and I was sitting there. It was like 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. I came out in 13th, really far behind everybody else, because basically everybody had already pitted. So it was like everybody had already pitted. So I was like basically one of the last 2 or 3 people to head in for my new tires and fuel. So it was like got out and I was nowhere.
Done the whole race on fuel.
And I was I was just
Fuel wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah.
I was just nowhere near anybody. So it was like.
That is so creepy. So, anyway,
That's
Basically,
going on the jet page.
basically, I was nowhere close to anybody, so I couldn't make up anything. From that instance on, I sat in 13th.
So let's go back into where we were at in the race. So it was Jack, me, Cuban, you.
Yeah.
What happened to you?
Spun out.
You spun out. You spun out. That's where we were at. After that, me, Jack, Cuban, and Sparky, or Snaky,
Snaky.
who was
'cause he
behind
was in front
you,
of me.
pulled away. We had a huge gap on the rest of the field. And then it had to have been, it was in late teens. I'm going to say between 15 and 17.
You're getting into the
yeah.
Jack and Snaky.
We were coming out of turn 4, going into 5. I don't know what happened. May have been lag, but I just see Snaky like this, and then Jack like that, and then
I don't know what happened.
I don't know
there.
what
I haven't
happened
looked
either.
at the.
I just see like cars sideways behind me on a straightaway.
Yeah, but they took forever to get back to the pits.
They did,
Both
because
of them.
even I was able to catch up to them and stuff, and we were all the way back
And we
there.
were
He probably
miles
passed us
ahead
too.
away from the field.
I passed Snaky
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
that because that's how I ended up in 12th, where I think is where I finished, or 11th. I passed both of them, I believe.
Well, that was before you hit the pit wall.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
How'd I-
That was
how did I-
early in the
significantly,
race.
'cause
This was like
that was
lap
lap
15
40
or
or something.
Okay,
17
well,
or something.
what was that incident at the end where people had to pit?
Uncool Firestorm
Yeah.
and Snaky again.
Yeah, I got both. Of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was same area roughly, if I recall correctly. I think it was right around turn 4 to 5.
That's why I just looked and it was like,
It was an easy area to screw up, because if you got on that like curb, it wanted to kick you sideways, because I almost
but he
spun,
wasn't
I
facing
saved
like
it
if you
there.
got kicked sideways, you'd be facing that way. Snaky was that way.
Yeah, but it was contact, so I don't know.
If you had contact and the weird curb thing.
I don't
happened
know
once,
what happened. I was
you know,
like, ugh. And then me
Yeah.
and Cuban were just gone. Didn't see anybody there for the rest of the race for position.
So you finished a good 25 seconds behind Cuban at the
You
end
were
of the
making
race?
small mistakes though. 'Cause
I spun out
I pitted, you were behind me.
I spun out twice after my pit stop.
Yeah, after
I had to
pitted
pass
the
you
second
3
time-
times.
Yeah, after I came out of the pits, I passed him twice.
I had to pass him
A lap
3
down.
times.
A lap down, I passed him twice.
So, spoiler alert, Fresh Cuban Bread
Won.
did win the race. So, his second victory in the season.
From
First
pole.
one
Teammate.
for Jet Tech. That's good.
Second pole, first win for Jet Tech.
Yeah.
Das Baggies over here. Second place.
Best finish of career.
Yeah, that's better than even what you did
Yep.
in Mazda Cup.
You only have one podium in Mazda.
Well, I've only had 2 podiums ever.
This is one of them.
This counting this one. This is my second ever podium.
I've had what, 4?
So next season-
next podium I get will be a win because my first podium was a 3rd place. This
Right.
one's 2nd, so my next podium is going to be a win. It may
Oh,
never-
logically, I should have won like 7 times by now, but I
Clearly, it's going to be at Spa when you have 5%, right?
obviously, yes.
Yeah.
haven't. Yeah. Clearly, I should have had like 7 wins by now, but how
So
many do I have?
so who doesn't have a? I think if we're going to go to Spa now, if we are.
No, not quite yet. So we got to talk about sort of what happened to you, and then
your early race incident that knocked you out basically for the rest of the race.
so I'm like,
I was right next to that too, because I saw that happen. I was like, "Wow, that actually just happened."
I feel so
I
terrible
can't
about
believe
it.
that, because it was a lap
So-
1 hit too, and I was just like, "Oh."
So yeah, I am
League admin being a douche.
Yeah, I am pretty famous for being the guy that's right at the beginning going, "Come on, guys, take it easy into the first turn."
And you're like, do you brake for this corner?
It was not a hard hit.
It
It just
wasn't quite that bad, but it was still,
it was
bad
bad enough
enough.
that both of us had to pit right then.
yeah.
But yeah, right into the back of Carson. That's DZ Legends Blade. We were coming into it, and I don't know if I thought I was going to dodge it just to the left
You know
of
what it
it.
was like? It was like, hey, you had a good qualifying performance. Oh wait, no, you didn't. Bam!
I was like, what's that? Carson's got screwed up a couple times this season. Oh, hold on. Let me just make that 3 times.
Bam!
Okay.
Prep the anal beads.
That is terrible.
Get Mario. Get the KY from the Jet.
He's like, look here, do the dive now.
All right. So yeah, that was pretty terrible. I felt pretty bad that he was.
No, you didn't.
Fucked over again.
No, I did.
You just felt sorry for yourself.
No, I felt bad for him because he was. I had front end damage from that, and he had rear damage. It took him maybe another 15 seconds to get back to pit lane than me. So for the rest of the race, he was behind, and I was curious like where he was at because I figured with my power restriction that he was going to pass me at some point because he was running faster than I was. So I was like, this is going to be... And at one point, I was like tracking where he was, and I think he was making ground on me. And then next, I was like, hey, where are you at? And he's like, 3/4 of the way behind the track. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And he's like, my controller died. So...
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah, so he
ended
fell
up
back
behind
even
me.
further.
Like
Controller
a lap
died
down.
too?
No, he ended up behind me a lap down, is what I'm saying. Because
Were
he
you
was
involved
faster
in an
than me
incident?
for
Is
a
that
while.
why you ended up so far back?
There was a
or was
lot
it
of
just-
people.
Yeah, well, I
I
had a
think we lapped,
weird
like, the whole
incident
field
happen,
almost.
So,
You.
Yeah.
Adam's talking.
Yeah, I had a really weird incident. It was like lap 4 or so, and like the mics just kind of dropped for whatever
remember
reason.
that.
Yeah, because I was trying to call out a move. Yeah, that's when I came on the radio
You're
really
all
pissed afterwards. Yeah. Because I was trying to call out a pass to Snaky like 2 laps in a row because the mics were down for apparently 2 laps going into the first corner, and I couldn't get it for whatever reason because it kept dive bombing across me. So I had to get on the brakes really hard each time. Well, the second time I had to. Eclipse came right up behind me, and he just tapped me right as I was getting back on the gas, so I just spun out, and then pretty much everybody who was behind me at that point got around me, because I may have been like 5th at that point.
Hold on, I'm going to do my Adam Burrows impression of when he comes on the radio, when it suddenly does start working. And you didn't hear anything. It was almost radio silence, and then you hear, are you freaking kidding me, guys? Yeah. I try and call out.
It's like, Adam, you didn't call it anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything
didn't hear anything either.
until rage mode, and I was like, I've never heard Adam mad.
I was pissed because I was like finally doing good. I finally had a good start too, where somebody didn't hit me off of it, or I didn't get involved
I
in
think
something.
if you
'Cause I
want,
saw Ryan hit DZ Legend Blade, and I was like, "Oh, sucks for them," but thank God it wasn't me this time.
if you want to,
Sucks for them. Accelerator.
I think Boros, if you want to if you want to have a season or like a race where nothing bad or nothing unlucky happens to you, I think you're driving for the wrong team.
Yeah,
because
Pretty much.
all of the bad stuff happens to Jet. All of it.
I'm going to take that.
BTR usually has some bad shit happen.
I don't know. PLM has had some pretty bad luck as
But
well.
we're talking over the course of history.
It's
Yeah,
basically
Always
just-
Jet.
Whenever I either qualify good, I always get taken out in the first lap. Like, if you go all the way back to R1 when I was in B lobby every single
like
time,
when
I
you
always
took me
got
out at Road
taken
America.
out every single time. Yeah, or that. Yeah, when I
Took
tried to
out
go
the half the
inside.
field at Road America.
Ryan's watching. He's like, "Mother of God!"
Record holder for
That was
best
7
crash
cars
in Formula
involved in the
Forza.
incident.
That probably was the worst incident I've ever seen.
I
was
created
not-
a whole
that
new rule right there too.
That
so.
was the rule
Felt
was
so
created because of
successful.
that accident.
I didn't even take any damage from that, which was the best part.
Fucking
He's like, that sucks for them.
yeah.
It's like,
again.
Brad just lost in front of me, clearly,
You
because
hit
I
me.
don't have
You
any
came in-
damage.
You came in and hit me from behind. I touched 8 cars.
That's what you need. Like on the rear of your side pods and maybe like underneath the wing, it needs to say "sucks for you," right? Because either they're behind you and they're getting the arrow wash, and he's like, "Sucks for you." Anyway, let's
Race
finish up
results.
the race results here, and we'll move on. But yeah, Laker hater. So started from 16th, right? Because he got knocked out
Probably,
in Q1.
if we're doing awards, this is probably best performance of the year.
Oh no, there was another one that was like that. What was it?
This has got to be
No,
it.
no,
This
this
has
wins it
got to
by
be
a
it. This is
mile
a
and a
tough
half.
track.
No, I mean I'm talking.
Yeah.
Oh, for this year, best one. I'm talking
It's
like
really hard to
There's
get around
another
people
one that was
too,
similar
because
to this.
I had a
Wasn't
good
there?
race with Bryson W right at the end.
Wasn't it?
But I caught
Batman?
him on-
Batman LMP1 had a race like that.
Somebody
started
had
back and
no,
finished
it was
second or
both.
something
Somebody
like
had a
that.
race like that.
No.
The very first season TLR Eclipse.
Bloody Kane.
Oh yeah, Bloody Kane
It was
had a
Bloody
good one.
Kane.
I don't know that,
was
it was quite.
that 13th to 5th or whatever that he had that one time.
I don't know that it's quite 16th to 3rd.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that was
Last to the podium.
Yeah, that is pretty incredible with a 5% power restriction.
He also got lucky with
impressive, especially that track.
As hard as it was and as good of a performance that he had, he still got lucky from some pretty key incidents though that happened. He was just like, all right, later. He's like, later, suckers.
I mean, if we're talking about getting lucky,
yeah,
second place.
Yeah,
clearly.
The fuck you talking about?
What? Okay, so BTR Sparky then.
I gained a position, girl.
BTR Sparky, not even a second behind Laker Hater in fourth. Mm-hmm. So you would have been right around in that battle. That would have been probably a three-way battle for the podium there.
I was battling people the entire time. Did you not hear the radio? Uncool, I was battling him. I battled Flames for like 6 laps. Uncool was like the first 20 laps of the race, and I finally got around him. And as soon as I got around him, no offense, Uncool, but after I got around him, if you talk to Adam or anybody behind Uncool, I ran away from everybody. I was gone. I got around Uncool, and it was just, I never saw those dudes again.
Uncool.
You're still relatively close to us, though, because for a while
yeah, but you know what the difference between you and them was? You pulled away, but they didn't hit the pit wall, so...
After we all had those, like, early offs or whatever, or, just incidents, we were all, like, right there, though.
You guys are mean.
It's, like, 5th all the way back to 7th or so, 8th maybe.
Like, how many times did we go over before the race
It was a
not
pretty
hit the pit
good
wall?
group of guys.
Basically every time that Edited Biscuit was in a lobby.
What was that?
Not hitting a pit wall.
Oh, yeah. That is hilarious. That does seem to be, maybe it's like a disease he spread to Jet. He's like, oh, pit wall, bam!
Yeah.
All right, so then we had TLR Law that was came home 5th with Bryce MW with his 15% power restriction. Comes home in 6th.
What percent?
15.
He doesn't lose any of his power restriction now, does he?
He doesn't, because he's 6th.
Yeah,
One more position down.
Or Bryce.
I would just slam him.
I almost got by him, but I couldn't, because I caught up to him in the Schumacher S's,
It's his fault.
and then I lost.
Boros, we blame you for this.
Yeah.
Bryce probably blames you for this, too.
So,
Well, I caught up to him in the Schumacher S's, and then I got way too close to him, and I just lost all my downforce, and I had to slow way
It was hard to stay
down.
close in the S's.
yeah.
Definitely
It
hard to
was
stay
really
close.
hard. Oh my gosh.
All right, so Adam
not realize
finishes
that.
7th. I finished 8th with 5%. Uncool Firestorm, his best result of the season, 9th. He was just 5 seconds behind me. TLR Eclipse, he had to have been involved in that incident. Like at the beginning or something.
Did you
was
hear him
involved
talk?
in the one with
Did you hear him
Brad
talk the
Derek.
entire race?
No.
I didn't either.
I heard him talk once.
But he's usually a radio silence kind of racer.
But usually when something happens, he's usually talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't normally hear from him.
You do normally hear from him a few times throughout the race. I didn't hear from him once.
So he went Stig mode there. Finished 10th with his 5% power restriction. That Derek James hit a pit wall and got 11th. DZ Legends Blade, that's Carson. I demolished his
fault.
rear suspension. His controller went off and finished 12th.
He demolished his rear end.
Took him from the rear.
BTR Snakey then had, I'm not going to call it the worst luck ever because there was a lot of bad luck here, but he was running
I had
well.
all the bad luck. What are you talking about?
He got involved in 2 incidents. The one with Jack and the
That's
one
just
with Uncool.
BTR luck. That's what happens.
That could be.
It's almost as bad
Hey,
as
that
jet
was,
luck,
that
but
was the
it's
second
not.
race in a row that they had.
If your name has 3 letters, excluding TLR, you're going to have a bad time.
I don't know. TLR used to have a bad time too. But
Yeah,
anyway,
they used
Yeah.
to.
BTR Snakey 13th. And Cubit was going to bring it home in 14th and then decided to lag out with like 2 laps to go again. That's happened
Poor
before
Cubit.
too. Yeah.
Poor Cubit. Sorry, Peter.
He might have actually been in contention with Snakey over 13th.
They were close, I believe.
Yeah, they were pretty close because after Snakey pit 3 times total, I believe.
He's got another. BTR's having another pitting streak.
You know who's actually a lot better than he seems to be is Cubit.
What do you mean?
Like, have you ever
When
been
he's
behind him?
on it, he's on it.
Have you ever been behind him?
He's a consistent driver.
His lines
Yeah,
are
he's-
like perfect every lap.
Yeah, he's just, I think
Every
it's
lap.
I think it's really just throttle on for him. You know what I mean? Like I was following behind him and I couldn't pass for like 2 laps, but it was for position, right? Because I was last after my DZ Legends Blade. Oh, I guess I was second to last because DZ Legends Blade was still behind me. But
His lines are perfect like every lap.
yeah, I think it's just not getting aggressive enough, or it's the tune. Because I gotta say, with In Flames' tunes.
Tune, too.
Speaking of In Flames, holy cow, he lags out midway through the race. What, maybe 12 laps to go?
It was
10
after
laps
I
to
put
go?
it. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And the cheating comes back to bite him.
Dude, the championship's still open then. We talked about him
Just
not
barely.
finishing. We talked about him not finishing. It's still open. It's still there.
Just barely.
It
So
would happen again.
If it were to
He's,
happen again.
15th is what he ended up getting for that. Slamont 24
Lag switch.
basically got on the grid and then his car disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
Because like where we were, if you watch it on the Twitch stream, like his car was like right ahead of mine, and it just goes bloop, gone. I was like, ah. Like I feel.
And then he pulled up in his spot.
Speaking of
I feel bad for him
starting
because that's
grids,
the second time that's happened to that
Speaking
team.
Yeah.
of starting grids, why am I always like second to
Yeah.
last?
What do you got?
Every
What do you got
single
against
freaking
Jet when
time?
it comes to qualifying?
Every
It's all
time.
random.
We're always
Hey,
like, it's not
me and
random.
Fresh
We're
Cube
always
and
in the
Red were
back.
like first and second
They could get
for
literally
Q2,
like
so.
almost a whole other lap in. Like I don't like. It's so
It is on
bull
random,
crap.
I promise. So
No,
yeah,
it's on random except for Jet.
put Jet at the back. Right.
All right.
So anyway,
Spa. Can I have my my stat sheet?
I was gonna say something about.
I don't give
do
a
we
shit
want to
about
give him
him.
5 points or five minutes for points?
No, let's not even do points. It doesn't matter. It matters, but like,
Do key stuff like who's close to the championship and if there was any movement after the race because God knows I didn't.
I
move.
moved up a position.
I think I'm up 13
A
now.
position.
So
for finishing
before
second.
we leave it, I don't think we mentioned it, but we did say that Laker Hater had the drive of his life.
You mean
13
the drive
overtakes.
of Formula Forza?
13 overtakes.
The drive of
One
Formula
race.
Forza from here until eternity.
That's incredible. That beats Chaos and Action's average for most overtakes. Like his average of
Yeah.
overtakes per race.
Dude, our average tanked this season.
What is my average?
Brad and I,
We'd have to look at
Brad and I just went at the end of this year. Him and I were like, it was going to be me or him at the end of the year for most overtakes ever, and we're both just like,
No, mine's doing pretty good.
I've had maybe one overtake after the first race of the year.
All right, so you want to handle points for us? Maybe top 10 as we head into the last race.
Where's top 10 end?
And
Okay, there it
you're
is.
done.
So in first we got In Flames who lagged out, got 28 points though. So that's still not. That's enough to keep. What was the team in second? Was that TLR?
No, team in
uh,
second is
Yeah,
McLaren.
in contention, but in contention.
It also keeps Bryce MW in contention.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to happen because he needs to gather 7. He needs to outscore In Flames by 70 some points.
Don't count your.
With
You
the-
have to.
with the
You
power
have to
restriction,
win.
too.
You
Don't-
have to win, and In Flames has
don't
to
count
not
your
finish.
tires before your stints are over.
In Flames basically has to not make the race at all.
And
He did
Bryson
this race.
W with the 15%.
No, he was there, so he got 28 points.
If-
If he gets 28 points again,
If In
It's
Flames
done,
doesn't finish or gets 20 less than 30, and Bryson W wins, that's the only way Bryce is going to win the championship.
And Bryce has a power restriction.
And he's got 15%.
it's mathematically possible. It's
But
just, I would
theoretically
not-
is locked up.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Especially at Spa, because that's way too fast of a track with power restrictions.
Yeah, and Bryce
Because
still has a
if-
15%.
Can we talk about
Well,
Spa
they
real
said
quick?
that they were
Can we move on to Spa?
slower.
Brad,
No,
Brad,
no.
Get your,
No,
Brad,
come on.
Get your points down.
Okay, so in second, obviously we said it is Bryson W. In third, now is out of the championship. I don't think it was last week, was he?
No, he was still in it
He was
last
still
week.
last week.
Now
He
he's
is
out.
Not anymore. Would be TLR Eclipse. In third is fourth is Fresh Cuban Bread.
Only 12 points behind.
Only 12 points behind TLR Eclipse. In fifth, we got BTR Sparky.
Another 12 points.
Another 12 points. Ryan's good at math, guys.
You good
In
at doing
sixth, we
this.
have this guy.
Just saying.
I'm going to do it slow just to piss Derek off.
Down 2 positions. Wow.
You suck.
Is Derek down 2 positions because he sucks. In ninth, we have Slamont. Got 26 points out of it, so for going burp out of the lobby. And then in fifth, we got TLR Law. Or 10th, we got TLR Law.
I realize top 10, but only 2 points behind that is Carson. So if one of those two, if Jack has a bad race at Spa, Carson's going to be right there to pick up the pieces because he's only 2 points behind.
All right, Spa. Team points. Hurry up.
Team points pretty much didn't change. The only thing
All right. Do you have the Spa tab up, Ryan?
that I can get there.
Basically, this race we're doing how many laps?
50. Because he's a
50.
freaking douche.
50 around Spa.
That's going to be like 2 hours.
Hour and a half.
All right,
or
here we
so.
go. Our,
He's such a douche.
We're doing 50 laps here on Spa Francorchamps. Our average lap is about a 47.
Spa what?
Francorchamps.
There you go.
Okay.
A 47.2 For average lap. I ran a 45.4 this morning, Ryan.
This is from preseason.
Okay.
We've gone over this.
Our estimated duration of the race is about an hour and a half. It'll probably be an hour and 45 minutes. But track length is 6.968 kilometers, and in miles it's 4.33. Qualifying, as usual, started at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Qualifying ends at about 2:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Where this race is
40
about
p.m.
2:40.
Oh, I thought you said 40 p.m. only.
The race is slotted to start at 3 o'clock, but it never does.
Usually we're pretty damn close, like 1 or 2 minutes.
We had everybody in the lobby ready to go, and we were waiting on you.
Yeah.
As always.
But this race, who's going to be in contention for the win, though?
Who's
this
not
is all
in
we really-
contention? Me.
This is all we really have to talk about. Who's got the stones to win it this week?
So I'm gonna say Laker Hater. So now he's gonna be at 10% because of power restriction.
Mm-hmm.
He's out.
He's out. I would say pretty much anybody with any power restriction
Is done.
is out. This is too long a race.
So who does that leave? Who's got
BTR.
who's got the BTR?
BTR and you.
BTR and me
And him.
and him.
And Jack.
Jack could do it.
Jack's
Jack
just kind of strategically not
If-
had power restriction at the decent
If
tracks.
Jack.
It's going to be Road America
Ooh,
all over again.
Eclipse.
He's off
Yeah.
of restriction now.
He is.
He's got a good shot then.
He does have a very good shot at it.
I hate trying to find their times because they hide their times.
You just got to go based on. I mean, you know how fast these guys
I know how
are.
fast they are, so I just got to think ahead of like what
Yeah.
they'd be doing.
So I think we're going to see an outstanding performance from one of the BTR guys. The other one's going to get totally screwed by luck.
We already know what's going to happen to
Hopefully,
me.
I'm going to get screwed by luck this week.
How can you possibly? I guess you can actually hit the pit wall here, can't you?
What I'm saying is,
He's not going to hit the pit wall. He's going to hit, like, the bus stop wall where it comes out like that.
what I'm
He's
saying
going to
is,
completely overshoot
is
the
it
corner.
something's
crap.
going to happen
He's
again
going to pull a Maldonado
from
or
a
something going
decent.
into the
Something's
pits.
going to happen again from a decently high position for me, and I'll be done.
Since I'm out, I'm going to try my hardest to do a. What's his name? Lotus.
Maldonado.
Over the front of Alonso's nose.
Over the front of
sweet
Ryan's car.
Jesus.
Over the front of Ryan's car.
Heck yeah, I'm doing that.
Brad's gonna be like, "Hey Ryan, you want some nachos later?"
Where?
The one thing I think that we do need to talk about is the top of Eau Rouge. You can cut that pretty significantly.
Yeah, you can pretty
I'm
much
gonna
go
say-
all
I'm
the way
gonna
to
say-
the white.
Two wheels off is fine.
Yeah, I'm going to say in the race, if you have to use that to avoid somebody, okay. But again, gentleman's agreement, just like we did at Yas, don't exploit that if you can help it. You know what I mean?
During qualifying, 2 tires off.
During qualifying, 2 tires off.
That's easy to do because it's still quick through there with 2 tires off.
Yeah. So don't take the... Because you can go like 15 feet
You can go like an
off.
entire track over practically because it's that entire white marked like area with the bumps or
Yeah, you
whatever
can go-
they
It's
are.
just, but the
Yeah,
problem
you
is,
can
it's
go
just
all
as
across
fast as
that.
it is to take 2 tires off as it is. I tried
No,
it earlier,
it cuts
No,
it
you can-
shorter. You gain time.
You can gain a lot.
but you don't gain speed, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you gain a lot of speed because it's more straight. You
Alright,
get
apparently
back
I'm
in.
wrong.
It's bad.
So that's why Flames has got like a 40-point
He's
something
like, it's
there
not
this
that bad,
week.
right, guys? I mean, it's not like you gain more speed. Oh, yeah, you do. Well, but you're not actually gaining time on... Yeah, oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's
It's not like I'm ever going to be right here, is it? No.
nope, not at all.
But that's
Okay.
why Flames is running like a 40-something right now. Then that all makes sense to me now. Why I looked at his leaderboard time this morning, and I
okay,
was like,
but-
"Mother of
It
God!"
doesn't make 5 seconds difference. That's,
But what I'm saying is that you carry the speed down the straightaway, and that builds and builds and builds over a lap
Yeah.
if you maintain the proper pace.
I'm going to say
guess.
3/4 of a second there, difference between taking that and
That's
not
still
taking
quite a
that.
bit.
So for your leaderboard time, hell yeah, cut it. But for
Yeah,
your
yeah, oh, yeah.
For your qualifying time, you cut it, you die.
You cut it. Jet Motorsport will.
Pit maneuver you. I'm out of the race, so I will hit you.
You get suspended for 2015 entirely. If you
Do
Maldonado...
you think he cares?
he thinks he's Batman, so he's just
He's gonna
vigilante
show up to the race.
justice.
He's be like,
Yeah, my number
He's
in
gonna be-
Mazda
he's-
Cups was Batman symbol. That's what number I was.
he's gonna show up and he's a completely different gamer tag. He's gonna be Batman baggies. He's like, "I'm not Brad. What are you talking about?"
He's just gonna be sitting at that corner, just
No, he's gonna try and race and be like,
and he's just gonna be like,
My car's
cut
gonna be
it.
all black.
and Brad's gonna be sitting here for the podcast. You know who I think's gonna win the championship this year? Batman baggies. He seems like a top chap. He should have lied to me. I'm not Brad. What are you talking about? I'm not Brad.
Right.
I'm Bruce.
James.
It just happens to work out to be James.
Oh, hey.
1,
Wow, that was terrible.
2.
Okay. No. Don't do it. What? You're just increasing the counter there. What is Oh my god. Oh, you left You left him hanging.
Poor Derek got left hanging.
Okay, so
Look at his feet.
So, all right. So, what do you guys think about this track, and what kind of setup do you think is going to be fastest here?
Whatever
Low
Flames
arrow.
is running.
Whatever Flames is running. That's a good point.
Low
But
arrow, you gotta use mechanical grip probably.
yeah, low arrow.
Because you're gonna gain way too much time down the straight if you... You're gonna lose too much time down the straight. You're gonna lose too much time down the straight.
Our one audience member, first audience member ever, is totally trolling us.
Yeah, you're gonna lose too much time down the straights if you have a
yeah.
high downforce. Because
Second
you
audience
only
member.
top out at like 190 something, like low 190s. If you have anywhere near like half to full downforce. If you don't have it off, you can get up into above 200 easy.
Yeah,
you what?
Road America tunes, I think, is what we're going to see here.
Pretty much.
They're going to struggle a little bit in, what is that, the second sector?
Left hand.
Yeah, where
all left-handers.
Where it's a lot tighter.
Yeah,
Where's all rebel?
But you can kind of use the curbs a lot more through there than what you can at other tracks.
Yeah, you still
It
got
is
to be
a
a
lot more
little bit
linear.
careful here because this is a return to slightly slippery rumble strips.
Not as much
Vaseline
KY.
rubber
Not
strips.
as,
Slightly,
not
but
as
they're not
much
bad.
KY, but a little bit of KY.
That is disturbing.
We got to chuckle.
Making
out
the
of our
tires
audience member there.
slippery. Making them good.
I like to take it in rumble strips and I rub my body all over it. Take it to KY, rub it all over my boobies.
He just runs up and just slides down them.
Wow. He's like, oh, Rouge.
I took it to full throttle. I lost him a pee-pee.
So, turn one is going to be another sort of nightmare here, isn't it?
It's so much tighter than it.
It actually wasn't bad at Nürburgring.
It wasn't
all
bad.
I only
minus,
hit.
you know,
I know.
Ryan
In
over
the
here
first 3 corners, I only hit 2
going
people.
at it.
I didn't hit anybody.
I didn't hit a second person.
I didn't
I
hit
hit 2
anybody
people.
until
Oh.
I got hit. So
I hit Cuban once and then Jack once.
No damage, though?
No, damn it. It
Just
was
touch.
like I touched Jack. I like if I was going any quicker, he would have been like, Chirp. And I would have been like,
And then you would have been suspended.
I would have been accidental. It was accidental.
No, it wasn't. All right, is that all we got to talk about? I mean, is there really key corners other than? I mean, every corner is key here.
So, Au
There aren't
Rouge,
any easy corners here except for the kink.
Au Rouge is certainly not a key in this, really, because it's so
like
easy to take it full throttle.
But it's the fountain corner at Laguna or it's like the fountain corner at Long Beach. You're gonna have to take it single file, otherwise.
Oh yeah. You can
Unless
pass
you're-
just at the top.
Unless
if
you're
you can-
Adam
if you can
Boros.
figure out a way, though, you might be able to.
Of course, Adam Boros says that.
Adam
He's
Boros
like-
is like, well, I passed one time down into the corkscrew.
He's like Corvette corner at Road America.
3 wide
you
is
can go 3
possible.
wide through there.
Definitely go 3 wide there. What are you talking about?
It will be the apocalypse afterward, but you can go 3 wide through there.
He's
Go
like,
3
there
wide
will be
there so
lim-
long as somebody doesn't come over and take away your
Limbs,
arrow, and then you just get
limbs will be.
sucked
You
off
should
to them
have
like a
seen
vacuum.
it from my view. It was like,
Bam!
I watched it from your view like 5 times. Don't
it
worry.
was just like, boom.
You almost hit your head on the table there.
Are we still talking about Forza 4?
Yep.
2
Yes,
years ago?
Mazda Cup.
In Mazda Cup?
4
I
seasons.
still
3
have
seasons
replay.
ago.
3 seasons ago.
You still have the
yeah, that
replay
was-
on your computer or something?
No, I should actually download that.
It's on the Formula Forza Facebook page somewhere.
Yeah, it is.
So I remember you shared the incident somewhere from Boros'
Yeah.
view and Brad's view. So it's up there somewhere.
It was pretty horrific.
If you go farther enough, far enough
We're gonna
back.
share it this week though.
Best incident.
Maybe we'll go back. Maybe we'll go back and find that.
Flashback. Someday.
Back with like some epic music playing in the back.
Right. So the other thing we have to talk about is Formula E coming up, right? So this is...
Jet Motorsport's not allowed, so why
Can
the
we
hell
save
should
that for next
talk
podcast? We'll save that for next podcast.
Oh, we can at least talk about it.
No,
because
that's
Okay,
we got,
Formula E is happening.
So we've got what are they? 7 races there, and starts October 4th. It's all the Formula E chassis. 2 teams, sort of works like FF1, but it's
2 teams.
2 lobbies.
2 drivers per team. Sorry, 2 lobbies, which will be interesting for Forza 5. And it's pretty interesting how they're doing it, right? The lobby splitting.
It's not you, so it's probably going to be
think it's
run
pretty
much
neat.
better than it is now.
Let's go over how they're doing it. If
But the
you're
rules
like
are
me and don't
happening.
know how they're doing it.
Okay, so how they're lobby splitting, it doesn't matter which lobby you get into for qualifying. They'll sort all the times together from both lobbies, and all the odds go to one lobby, all the evens go to another lobby. So
It'd be like having 2 FF1 races going on at once.
yes,
Separate
Especially 'cause-
points.
And
Separate
then it goes
points,
off. And then it
but
goes off race time.
Separate
nope,
points.
separate points,
Separate points,
So
but
you
they-
can have 2 first place.
Yeah.
But they
Every
all
race.
go into the same points table.
Yeah.
So the
So
first
the battles
so
are going to
the-
be really
So the
close.
first
gonna
round.
have 2 podiums
So the
in
first
this.
round, there's probably going to be ties most of the way down, with the exception of passing points.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the exception of like the 3
I'm
or
so
4
glad
people
I'm
in
not
the game
driving.
position.
Speaking of,
This car's a lot of fun.
if you want to
drive,
drive for Jet Motorsport, we have 2 spots open
Yeah, because Ryan's not allowing.
because Ryan's a butthole.
Brendan wants to drive.
Please contact us if you don't have a horse. If you don't have a head of a horse, please contact us at facebook.com/jetmotorsport or Xbox Live. You message
That
Derek
Derek
James
James.
or Das Baggies
This
or
Derek
even
James.
Ferrari Fanatic 9.
Yeah.
And speaking of,
Well, we could have.
This
some
is
actual
one thing we
horsepower
want to
in
make sure it is a Saturday.
He'll have 1 extra horsepower.
there.
Wow. It is a Saturday series, so unlike the usual officially sanctioned.
I'm gonna come out and say it. Bullshit. Saturdays, he purposely made sure Jet Motorsport couldn't race.
It's not an officially sanctioned. It's supported by Formula Forza, but it's just ran through the site.
You're gonna
So,
have to crack the whip. It's bullshit.
Saturdays.
so if like I said, we need to get Jet needs 2 drivers. I know there's probably some teams out there that need drivers too. So what I think we should set up is
We just need to do a test.
A test session.
There are actually going to be
And
a couple of test sessions.
I want to make sure if you're like I got requests from a couple guys. I don't know your names. I don't remember them. No offense. I just don't remember.
Can't be bothered. Go ahead.
I don't know how you guys. I can look at leaderboards all I want, but that doesn't show me how you drive. So if you want to race for Jet Motorsport or for any other team, show up to the test session. Show what you got.
There you go.
Because
You might
If
get a
you-
spot
if you
on
own-
the 3rd most prestigious team in Formula Forza.
Right. Okay. Well, I think that's enough plugging in Formula E for right now. We can get into more detail, perhaps if we do a post-race podcast.
Blasphemy. No.
It is blasphemy.
Can't
We've
be
never done a
done.
post-race
Can't be done.
podcast for the last race of the year. But
I
maybe.
think post-race podcast
are you serious?
doesn't
We didn't do
include
one
Brad.
for that Le Mans.
Nope. R1 2013
No,
just
you-
ended.
yeah.
Super GT just ended.
Yep.
Nothing
Yeah,
after
Super
that.
GT 2, you could have done a full podcast after, because that was an interesting thing that, like, everything
You mean,
was
wait,
really interesting after.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have
Yeah.
been possible for me to meet up with him and you after Super GT season because there would have been a fist fight.
Yeah. There probably
There would have been a fist fight.
Pretty much all of Jet was just uber pissed, because John, like,
John was pissed too.
Oh, he was pissed. Like, yeah,
you
that
got
was
kicked off the
interesting.
admin feed.
I got kicked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got booted off the admin feed.
So on that
Should've been done.
bombshell, I think we're going to call this podcast done. Before I get in a fist fight again, and there's oh god,
Mole.
I got 3 Jet guys right here.
Mole, 4.
Yes.
Mole.
4 Jet guys. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We are planning on doing a post race.
We can.
All right.
I would like
Brad
to.
is not included.
What the hell are you talking about, girl?
So definitely turn your cell phones off.
Put your tray tables in the
Podcast.
upright position. It's time to take off for another.
Right, indeed.
Shut up.
All right, guys. Anyway, you can go over and watch the qualifying happen this Sunday at 2 p.m. That's twitch.tv/Formula Forza. We're also over on Twitter at Formula Forza, and you can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Formula Forza.
Hashtag make it to 1,000.
We're pretty close. 905. I think we're...
Yeah, we're at
Jet
905.
Motorsport is at 103 right now.
Ooh.
Not bad.
That
Head
is
over to Jet
110.
Motorsport and like them too.
Yeah, give us a like.
Anyway, guys, you can also see many more of these podcasts over on YouTube, where you're likely watching this right now.
Probably not.
So
Where else? Facebook.
be
Where
sure
it
you
links it to
subscribe.
YouTube.
Be sure you subscribe, and you guys can see videos as we post them. We do post all
For our viewers that are on Pornhub, don't scroll the next video. Don't want to watch that.
All right. Is it done?
Thanks for watching, guys.
Goodbye.
Just pushing this one right out the door.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
All right. Is he ever gonna show up? Oh.
Oh shit.
The fuck is Adam? He's like, takes me about a half hour to walk over there, guys.
45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You sure about this?
Mm-hmm.
It's a pen. Pencils usually stick up there. Oh shit!
Give me.
I wish you could smell what I'm smelling.
This will go. This is gonna look better over here. Oh shit.
What happened to Brad?
She's got the right color shirt on too.
What happened to Brad?
Showing his true colors.
Oh. What the fuck happened to Brad?
This will go good right here. Right, since we're on camera.
Oh my god. Oh god, oh god, oh god. That's the one. That whole thing. You about knocked me off the chair.
Fucking finally.
God damn. Took you 4 hours. Jeez,
Yeah,
have a seat, you bastard.
Well, sorry, we're moving my house, so.
They're moving your house.
The whole
Oh
house.
no,
Like
not
they
like
picked
the
it up
entire
and moved
house,
it.
The
but like
whole house.